Hello friends, September is days away, and while millions of seniors continue paying bills they do not legally have to pay, the government has quietly put programs in place that can eliminate or dramatically reduce 5 of the most common expenses in retirement. Most people have heard vague references to some of these. What they have not heard are the specific details that make them actually work. The exact deadlines, the exact phrases to use, and the programs that most providers deliberately do not advertise. Today, I am going through all 5 before the September deadlines close. Before we get into it, if you are 60 or older, already retired or getting close, and you have ever felt like the Social Security and Medicare system was designed to confuse you on purpose, I put something together for you. It is called the American Retirees Money Playbook. Every rule, every form, every phone number, all checked against the 2026 government figures and written in plain English. People who have gone through it have caught Medicare overcharges, found Social Security money they were owed for years, and stopped paying taxes on benefits they never should have been taxed on in the first place. Link in the description and pinned comment, or scan the QR code on TV. Now, let's get into it. Bill number 1, your property tax and a September deadline that most homeowners do not know exists. Approximately 80% of Americans 65 and older own their homes. Property taxes are one of their largest fixed expenses, and in most states, seniors are legally entitled to have that bill reduced, frozen, or deferred. The programs exist in every state. None of them apply automatically, and in most counties the deadline to apply falls in September or October for the benefit to take effect on next year's bill. Here's what makes 2026 specifically different. Texas just implemented a $140,000 school district exemption for homeowners 65 and older, meaning if your home is worth $200,000, only $60,000 of it is subject to school taxes. At a typical Texas tax rate, that exemption alone can save $2,000 to $3,000 per year. And in many Texas counties, the over 65 freeze locks not just the assessment, but the actual dollar amount of school taxes permanently, meaning the school tax portion of your bill can never increase, regardless of what happens to your home's value or local tax rates. For Arizona and Virginia homeowners, September 1st is the specific filing deadline for senior valuation freeze programs in many counties. The cutoff to lock in this year's assessed value before fall reassessments are applied. For Florida homeowners, November 2026 brings a ballot measure that could raise the homestead exemption from $50,000 to $150,000 in 2027, and then to $250,000 in 2028. This is not yet law, but it is on the ballot this fall and worth tracking. The action this week: call your county assessor. The number is on your property tax bill, and ask 2 questions. What senior exemption, freeze, or deferral programs apply at my address? And what is the application deadline? Write down the deadline immediately and submit the application before it passes. Bill number 2, your utility bills, and a program that can wipe out your entire past due balance. Almost every senior in America pays an electric bill or a gas bill. LIHEAP, the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, is a federal program that helps with energy costs. And in most states, the income limit has expanded to 60% of the state median income, which means many middle-class seniors who receive Social Security qualify, not just the lowest income households. If your only income is Social Security, you almost certainly fall under the eligibility threshold in most states. But here is the piece that 90% of people who know about LIHEAP do not know: the AMP program. AMP stands for arrearage-management. If you have a past due balance on your utility bill, money you owe from previous months, and you qualify for LIHEAP, many utility companies are required to offer you a plan where if you pay your current monthly bill on time for 12 consecutive months, your entire past due balance is completely erased. A senior with $4,000 in accumulated utility debt who enters an AMP plan and pays their current bills on time for 1 year has that $4,000 eliminated. The providers do not advertise this. They are required to offer it if you ask. When you call your utility company, do not ask for a general payment arrangement. Say specifically, I want to know if I qualify for LIHEAP assistance and whether you offer an arrearage management program for past due balances. The September urgency. Fall is when heating assistance programs open for winter. And in most states, seniors 60 and older have priority access to submit applications before the general public. Heating assistance funds are first come, first served. The earlier you apply, the more likely you receive the full benefit before funds run out. Call the National Energy Assistance Referral Line at 1-800-3423-720 this week. Bill number 3. Your Medicare drug costs and a pharmacy trap most seniors are walking into right now. Every senior on Medicare Part D has a new protection in 2026. Once your out-of-pocket spending on covered drugs reaches $2,100 for the year, every covered medication costs you $0 for the rest of the year. But there is a specific trap costing seniors right now that most people are not aware of. The negotiated price reductions CMS implemented on 10 high-cost drugs, including Eliquis, Jardiance, Januvia, Xarelto, and Farxiga, took effect January 1st. If you take any of these medications, the price Medicare negotiated is substantially lower than what plans were charging before. But some pharmacy systems are still processing claims under old contract pricing. Your plan may owe you money on fills you have already paid for this year. Call your Part D plan's member services and say, "I take Eliquis," or whichever negotiated drug applies to you, and I want to confirm my pharmacy is processing my claims at the 2026 negotiated price, not the pre-negotiation tier price. If unclear, request a year-to-date summary of your drug costs and compare against the negotiated prices on cms.gov. And if you are approaching $2,100 in drug spending this year, ask your plan exactly how close you are. Above $2,100, your remaining 2026 prescriptions are free. Many seniors spending $80 to $150 per month on medications will cross this threshold this fall without realizing they no longer owe anything. Bill number 4. Your internet and phone bills, and the secret department most providers do not want you to find. The Affordable Connectivity Program that provided $30 per month in internet subsidies ended in June 2024. Most people who were on that program were told it was simply over, and their bill went back to full price. What they were not told is that the major providers, Comcast, Cox, Spectrum, AT&T, quietly launched their own internal low-income retention programs to prevent mass cancellations when the ACP ended. Comcast program is called Internet Essentials and is available for $9.95 to $14.99 per month. Cox has Connect Assist at $9.95. Spectrum has Internet Assist at $14.99 for qualifying households. These plans are not advertised on the main pages of their websites. They are not mentioned by standard customer service agents. They exist in what the companies call the Low-Income Retention Department, a separate team whose job is specifically to keep low-income customers from canceling by offering subsidized rates. The phrase that gets you to this department: "I am a senior on a fixed income, and I was previously on the Affordable Connectivity Program. I would like to be transferred to your Low-Income Retention Department to discuss affordable plan options." That exact phrasing bypasses the standard agent and routes you to someone who actually has the authority to offer the subsidized plan. If the agent you reach says they do not have a program like that, ask again to be transferred to the retention department specifically. Persistence works here. For phone service, the Lifeline program still provides $9.25 per month in discounts on phone or internet service for qualifying low-income households. Several major carriers, including T-Mobile, Assurance Wireless, and SafeLink Wireless, participate. If you are paying more than $10 per month for a basic phone plan, and your household income is at or below 135% of the federal poverty level, approximately $20,300 per year for a single person in 2026, you may qualify for a nearly free phone plan. Bill number 5, your water and sewage bill. The one that almost nobody talks about. Water and sewage costs in the United States rose between 10 and 15% in the 2025 to 2026 period, driven by aging infrastructure costs and federal environmental mandates. For seniors in many cities, water and sewage combined now cost $80 to $150 per month. What very few people know is that most municipal water districts have a program called Senior Water Rate Assistance, a discounted billing rate available specifically to homeowners 65 and older who meet income requirements. These programs are run at the city or county utility district level, not at the federal or state level, which is why they never show up in lists of government benefits for seniors. Each municipality sets its own rules. In some areas, qualifying seniors receive a 25% reduction on their base water rate. In others, the reduction can be 50% or more. Some districts also offer full bill forgiveness for seniors receiving SSI or Medicaid. The way to find out if your water district has this program, call the customer service number on your water bill and say, "Do you offer a senior discount or low-income rate assistance program? I am 65 years old and would like to know if I qualify." If the customer service representative says no, ask to speak with a supervisor and ask specifically about any low-income rate program or senior rate assistance. Different districts use different names for what is essentially the same program. If your utility district genuinely does not have one, you can contact your city council representative and advocate for one. Several cities have implemented these programs specifically in response to constituent complaints about rising utility rates. One final resource that covers all 5 of these bills simultaneously, benefitscheckup.org, run by the National Council on Aging. Enter your zip code in basic household information, and it will show you every federal, state, and local benefit program available at your address, including utility assistance, property tax programs, and others we did not have time to cover today. It takes about 10 minutes, and it is completely free. So here is September's complete action list. Call your county assessor this week about property tax exemptions. September 1st is the hard deadline in several states, including Arizona and Virginia, and most other states have fall deadlines. Call 1-800-3423-720 about LIHEAP heating assistance, and specifically ask about the arrearage-management program if you have any past due utility balance. Verify with your Part D plan that your negotiated drug prices are being applied correctly, and check how close you are to the $2,100 annual cap. Call your internet provider and ask to be transferred to the Low-Income Retention Department. And call your water utility and ask about senior rate assistance or low-income billing programs. These 5 bills are being paid in full by millions of seniors who legally do not have to pay them. The programs exist. The savings are real. The only thing that changes the outcome is making the calls. Subscribe, share this with someone you know who is paying these bills, and I'll see you in the next one.